Yeah, you can finish your breakfast first.
Thank you.
Take your time. Now you can feel free to finish your breakfast first. I mean, don't. Most of the maybe 95% of the railroad capacity mainly provide for the passengers. Only 5% left for the cargoes. But in the United States, it's kind of the other way. I would say maybe majority for the railroad capacity in the United States mainly provide for the freight. Only few amount of them provide for passengers. Quite different because the different countries have a different area, different limitations, so a little bit different. And also like another difference is in Taiwan, the railroad company owned by a government, mainly owned by a government. But in the United States, they have a really complicated system. The trade and the, I would say railroad right are owned by different companies. And even though, for example, like Sun Railroad Network, they have maybe owned by more than 10 different companies. So which means sometimes the routes will be detoured a lot because they need to negotiate with different companies. Quite complicated. So that's the main difference. And later on today, I mainly like to show some fundamental for the motor, I would say truck, and the railroad, a little bit inland waterway, but not air today. So maybe air we will last on next week. So in general, I would like to see what's going on for the global viewpoints about these three different transportation methods. I would like to mention several words. The first word, breakbulk. Anyone knows what's the meaning of that? Breakbulk is very it's kind of like the most of when we talk about global shipping, we will use a very simple way like containerized or non-container. So non-container means like the cargoes may be less than one container and a little bit, we call it breakbulk, which means they are less than one container and may not store in based on container size shipping. So we call it breakbulk. Cross-docking is another operation like the, yeah, let me make some. Fine, we don't have any. Okay. Cross-docking means like you have lots of trucks from different origin and destination, but on certain points, they will transfer the cargoes with different trucks, and then they don't need to provide direct service. So which is very similar to an airport. So you can see lots of air flight coming, and passenger just transfer. They switch to different airplanes and fly away. Cross-docking is very similar service like the airport transfer and airport transfer operation. Transshipment it's kind of like just pass by. So for example, like when I still would like to use the air transportation, maybe give you an example, maybe easy to understand. So I remember when I stay in Washington DC, we don't have a direct flight from Washington DC to Taipei. We need to transfer at Tokyo, Narita Airport. So in that case, Narita Airport for me, I just transshipment with that. I do not really stay in Tokyo. I just transfer with that. So my origin is Washington DC, my destination in Taipei, but I just transfer in Tokyo Narita Airport. So we call transshipment. They have several different operations. And they have different size of the container. So we use the TU or FEU to count with that. They have a different size. 80 feet multiplied by 80 feet multiplied by 20 feet is general size for one container. Maybe, I don't know. This classroom, maybe we are able to load one container, just one. So again, we have a recent tour on November 20, you can see the real container, how big we are. And they have different size of container. We call this kind of a tank. This is for cold chain, we call refrigerant for the cold chain. And sometimes they just have a platform. They don't have any other. And lots of different names with that. We all call these very close to the different container, different size of the container. So let's start from the motor carrier. So in general, the truck load, and they have the measure that care about the weight loads. What's the weight load? The limitation of how many weight you can carry this time. Based on statistics, nearly 1/3 are all violate this regulation. In Taiwan, even higher, maybe 2/3. Why? Why they need to? Why the most private truck load logistics service provider tend to violate these weight loads? They want to earn more money, actually. So if they can, for example, violate 10%, maybe eventually they can save like the one truck per day. So that's the main idea. And suddenly, even in the European country, they are more interesting. They tend to register their truck in different countries to see which country have the easy load to pass. So sometimes they will, in general, they want to avoid registration in the United Kingdom rather than switch to Netherlands, Belgium, or other way. Provide the easy way for them to do the business. So that's the main motor carrier worry about. Here is the example. I just want to let you see that on the 2015 November, in the United States, they try to argue the weight load in the United States. So they write the email, and even though they mention like the current standard is like this way, but they think it's too. They want to lift this limitation, so they don't need, because everything in the United States, if you violate this law, they have lots of fine with that, and you have to pay lots of money with the government. So eventually they wish the government can lift this kind of limitation. Why the government want to set up this kind of limitation? You can see like the 80,000 pounds gross weight. Gross means like the total weight. 20,000 pounds for a single axle, because they have some balance within the container or truck load. They have 3 axles, X, Y, and Z. So better to balance everything. Otherwise, your truck may be easy to slow down. And other like the limitation. So eventually, they try to file this email and try to argue with the government. So far, they haven't successfully lifted the limitation because of a safety issue. So far, but just want to let you know, most of the private carrier around the world tend to lift this registration. So that's the main challenge they face.
Professor,
Yeah, please.
can I ask you?
Please.
The weight loads, is it profitable for government or it's just for the safety issue?
Mainly for a safety issue, actually, but government will identify different laws and different regulations for company. Every country have a different laws. So that's why previous slides I mentioned like several private companies will try to see which country can have the better rules for them. So they will always choose the countries maybe with a low regulation, low tax, and they can earn more money. They will also register with that. So you see like I just show you some example here. I would say this is small country. Belgium may be quite also small. Netherlands also. You see like lots of small country, they tend to attract more like a company to register in their country, so they can earn more tax. Even though they lower down the tax standard, but still can earn lots of the. So that's why they operate like this way. And also again like all these truck companies all located in the European countries, they are quite close. So it's easy to pass the regulation. And United Kingdom set up a very high standard of registration and regulation. So, I mean, mainly for safety, I would say, mainly for safety. Because of we need to consider different, and why different countries have a different safety requirements? Do you want to guess?
I think it's about the design of the road as well.
Very good. But different countries have different geographic circumstances. So sometimes they will need to pass a mountain, so they have a different speed, they have a different regulation. So they will, based on their situation, set up the standard to pass these countries. So yeah, very good. They have a different road limitations and conditions. All right. So any other questions? So this is a general for the truck, and I mean truck is more easy. I think easy common in your daily life. so I don't want to spend lots of time here. I like to spend some time talk about railroad inland waterway. I guess you are not quite familiar with that. So let's talk about railroad. So I mentioned like railroad operations in the United States is quite different in Taiwan. I'm not so sure what, in your home country, what kind of situation. Maybe close to the United States, very similar to the Taiwan. But anyone want to guess, for in United States, how many containers will be carried by one train? Anyone have some numbers? 5. 5? Okay, 5 will be in Taiwan. I mean 5 containers just in Taiwan. In Taiwan, one train maybe will carry around 5 to 8 containers each time. How about in the United States? One train, how many?
A lot.
A lot. I mean number. Give me some numbers. Anyone want to guess? 20?
100.
100? Okay, let's see the video. I will give you some answers. I have very bad experience with that because every time when I drive my car in the United States, if I saw the container train, you know, like I almost want to detour, make some detour. Alright, so let's see what happened here. This is the BNSF, one of my school senior working on this company. It's very famous in the West United States, mainly dealing with lots of the rail freight operations. So this is one train, the BNSF, one normal train, just normal. So. If you haven't finished your breakfast, you can keep going. You have lots of time. I also made a similar video. Last year we traveled to Germany. Made a similar video in the Europe. I have web connected. Upload here in the website. They are double decks. How many you play? That's a normal operation in the United States. So take your time to finish your breakfast. See how much time. You see how we have 1 more minute, so which means you can go back on to
100.
you know like the
100.
yeah, more than 100. You can go back on to count with that. So that's how United States operate the railroad operations in freight. I think lots of the advantage for that. So number one, like why we want to, you know, they originally use the truck, but you see like right now they use lots of like the truck on the railroad. Once they arrive at destination, they can easy to combine with the then to back to the truck and easy to do the last mile operations. And lots of ways. Number one, like they can easy to reduce the accidents. They can have a huge amount to travel together, and even more convenient and easy way to go. Save the fuel efficiency. You don't need to spend lots of price for oil. although right now the oil prices keep low, relatively low these years, but we don't know what happens in the next few years. And also for the truck drivers, you don't need to hire so many truck drivers. If they only do the first mile and the last mile, that would be easy. You don't need to hire lots of people, always drive all the way. And also they have a regulation in Taiwan or in United States. Most of the truck drivers can only drive more than 8 hours. They need to take a break. So which means if you're a long journey, which means you have to well prepare 2 or 3 drivers simultaneously. That's a traditional way and not that efficiency. So right now they tend to use a lot with you see lots of UPS, they try to deliver cargoes through this way. And certainly I'm not so sure. How's your own country? Anyone want to share? I don't know. Mongolia or I guess Mongolia maybe have a similar but not that much. Okay. How about Thailand or Indonesia or Indonesia may go the other way. Indonesia may because you have lots of islands. Maybe later on we'll talk about inland water. And how about any other countries similar to the United States? So far, only 2 of the others. Number 1 is European countries. They also, in recent years, they also try to design similar service, but they have some troubles. And China also tend to call it one belt and one road. They also try to use this kind of service to replace the traditional way. Traditionally, they always go fly or long truck driving or inland waterway, but they have some shortage and disadvantage. So right now, railroad kind of like a new solution for most of the countries trying to develop with that. Why railroad? Easy, safety. You can carry lots of containers together, and drivers drivers also can stay with the train. You just prepare one passenger train to stay with them. They can take a rest. What else? So compared to air, what's the advantage for railroad? Cheap. Yes. Much more like the lower transportation fare. Compared to the waterway or ocean maritime, what's the benefit for that? Safety. Faster. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Why safety? Because sometimes we mentioned before, like during the ocean, they have some wave fluctuation. You may lose some containers. So ocean is relatively slow, and railroad is faster. Compared to the truck load, I mentioned a lot. Like the truck load is quite like less efficiency, making us high pollution. So in more recent years, several countries tend to develop this kind of railroad service around the global supply chain management. All right, so if you have time, you can go back. You see, we have 1 more minute. But I can quickly keep going on. At the end, I have time empty, but still, I know we like. Okay. So we know lots of maybe let me talk about this later. Okay. Let's move to the inland waterway. So I give you a brief idea of the truck load, brief idea for the railroad. Let's talk about inland waterway. I list several countries, but not limited. So this country listed here is some major countries operate the inland waterway operations. What's the meaning of inland waterway? River. Yeah, very good. What kind of cargoes will rely on the river? Definitely not the iPhone, right? So what kind of cargoes rely on the river? And how many rivers operated this kind of service around the world? So let's back to the first question. What kind of cargoes would be served by this kind of service? Machine, maybe not. Fish. Fish? The fish is kind of like a super perishable kind of food. In general, some the agricultural products, wood, or stone. Man is a low profit, but still have huge amount. They will rely on this low cost. So the advantage is they are the most cheapest transportation way around the world. And drawback is very slow. lots of drawback actually, but let me show you the one website. So if you want to go to this website, okay, this is the worldwide inland waterway navigation network. So you could see like most of country running the inland waterway were listed here. So perhaps you could look for your home country. You see. So I think it sounds like from Thailand you are from your blood. And this is from mainland China. In the United States, they have the Mississippi River. So many blood. So if you go back home, you can check like one by one. If, for example, you are having interest in here, or I'm not so sure. And here you can check on. Instead, they have some like for how length, width, line, and what kind like who own what's the traffic, how many tonnage they run year by year. So you can see, and also like they have a major goods transport here, maybe food, agricultural products or something. They list it here, so you can check one by one, and so far, that's they have the different like mention that. And if you want to check the other one, you just easily to check with them. They have always very similar. So this website just show you the different like the inland water operations around the world. So okay, let's guess. What's the challenge for running the inland waterway operation? I mentioned the cost is very low, although the speed is also very slow. But what's the main challenge when we're running the inland waterway operations around the world? Anyone want to guess? I mean, main challenge. They have one severe drawback. So highly limited this kind of service. Although it's very cheap, they can carry a lot of amount of cargoes and low cost, a little bit slow. One major drawback. Anyone want to guess?
Water level?
Waste.
What kind of risk?
I don't know. Boats need fuel and fuel polluted the water.
Not yet. But I mean, sometimes they will occasionally occur, like the maritime will also, but still not a major challenge with that.
Water level?
Water level, yes. Sometimes water level could really create some like limitation, especially during the summer or winter will be quite different. Water level will be quite different. What else? What kind of meaning for that?
Cannot just enter countries, sea.
In general, they will negotiate with that, like similar to a railroad in a European country. They traverse lots of countries, across lots of countries, so that should be fine. One major term, very similar to water level. Anyone want to guess?
Flood.
Flood, okay. Very good. We have flood last week, and thanks to you still remember that. Yes, flood is another issue. One more. We have flood, which means that we have the.
Rain.
No, not rain. Flood always occur in the summer. What will happen in the winter?
Ice.
Freeze, snow, during the winter, unfortunately they will always block, especially for the northern country. So that's the main issue. So for those kind of countries, they may not be able to provide this kind of service. And this may be blocked in the winter, this blocked in summer because they are a little bit different. So that's the major challenge with that so far. Another minor challenge is sometimes like the inland waterway. I'm not so sure if you are, but next week I have another to show you. But inland water in general, they kind of like a single channel, they only can wait for one direction. So one direction passed by, you have to switch another one. So that's another problem. It's slow, but in general, like winter and weather condition is kind of like a major limitation for that. So create lots of uncertainty, especially during winter, which means they cannot rely on this kind of operation during the winter. Okay, so that's the main challenge. Alright, so today I think I saved more time because we have another issue I like to talk today is we call it one belt and one road. This is the map in Chinese, but still you can recognize the map. I think this is Russia, this is China, this is Europe, European countries. So I'm not so sure how many of you, maybe most of you learned One Belt and One Road project before, but today I will put more discussion with that. So ideally, they want to build several different, we call a land bridge. What's the meaning of land bridge? Like rely on the railroad to across these countries. 3 different roads. One is passed through Russia, North Russia, and second is goes through Central Asia, and then one is passed through the southern area. Okay, so what's the drawback for each route? Let's talk one by one. So maybe this is route 1, route 1, route 2, route 3. And for route 1, what's the drawback with that? So when they design this kind of route, I mean disadvantage or drawback, okay. So route 1 goes through the area, you can see pass through Russia, most of the area of the Russia. Route 1. What's the drawback, challenge with that? Let me give you a hint. Very similar to the inland waterway.
Weather.
Freeze.
Freeze again, yes. In the winter season, it has severe snowstorm here, so which means will affect the safety issue in the railroad operation, even for railroad. Because the railroad is very difficult to make a break. You know, like the winter and the snowstorm will make it really dangerous. Second one, route 2 is pass through Central Asia. What's the challenge here?
The terrain.
Hmm?
The terrain.
What kind of terrain information?
Like you have a lot of mountains there.
Very good. Okay. Central Asia and lots of mountains, but also for the route 3. Route 2 and route 3 also facing a similar situation, right? Terrain information, terrain challenge. They have lots of mountain need to pass through, which means they need to do lots of construction and new project. And especially route 3, they not just for terrain information, they have other challenge. Anyone want to guess? I'm not so sure. Sorry about this in Chinese. I should find another better map. But the third route 3 is from the south China, pass through India, pass through Iran, and then Turkish to the European countries. So what's the challenge for the route 3?
War.
War. Okay, very good. Terrorist attack. Well, we not just say war. Terrorist attack. So you can see lots of the areas still not as stable. They always fight with each other. So far, route 2 seems relatively stable and a better choice. So today we will start from route 2. Okay? Let me give you like a brief idea. The following session mainly based on this textbook. If you are highly interested, you can try to check with that. They talk about this new one bill and one road in Central Asia. So they talk about the opportunity for China, Europe, and Central Asia. They have lots of small countries around Central Asia here. And we call a new serial road. Before talking about that, maybe I have some video I want to share with you. And first, I like this video. Unfortunately, kind of 1 hour long, you see, 48 minutes. So I only can give you like 5 minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes, 3 minutes. But if you are highly interested in that, please go back home to watch all of them. I like this video actually, it took a lot, but I wish I have more time to stay on. Okay. And this is talk about like will COVID-19 force the rethink for China's Belt and Road project. This year I like to focus on my previous topic, but standing on the COVID-19's viewpoints. So first of all, number one, maybe I should start from the first question is, could anyone tell me what's the project about a one belt and one road project? Anyone could give me some idea of that? What's the meaning of one belt or one road? Could anyone give me some idea of that? No? I guess some of you may heard this term, but have no idea of that. Okay, so we will start from this video. Maybe you can have some like a short image of that. But later I would like to talk about how COVID-19 affect this project. Okay, so we can start from here. Certainly another one is more, let's say like balance his very low ambitious. So that's another issue, but let's start from here. I think this introduction maybe within 5 minutes with that.
It's seen as one of China's most ambitious projects to date. Launched in 2013, the Belt and Road Initiative, also known as the New Silk Road, is a colossal investment program that aims to link the economy of countries in Asia, Europe, and Africa into a China-centered trading network.
I'm sorry.
Until recently, the trading network.
Okay. When we talk about One Belt One Road, not just for the land bridge, they still have the maritime operations here, and they have more ambitious maritime actually. But today we stay on the land bridge first, the land side, road side.
Until recently, the project was well on track to become the most successful cross-border investment and economic integration program. That was until the COVID-19 pandemic unleashed a global health emergency and halted its unrelenting progress.
China probably need to scale back certain of the projects. The impact of the coronavirus on China's project is still unfolding.
Pakistan and China are taking all relevant measures which would help Chinese competition.
COVID-19 has laid bare the frailty and vulnerability of the China-backed program worth trillions of dollars. And Pakistan is by far the most financially exposed country due to its heavy reliance on China's economic capital. What will become of China's Belt and Road Initiative across Asia and beyond?
Just let go 3 more minutes and then we will let you go back and check this. Talk about the future of Belt and Road. It's kind of big project.
It's China's flagship program, a massive investment infrastructure financing program that involves more than 100 countries, or around 2/3 of the world's population. Once completed, the Belt and Road Initiative would usher in a new era of growth for economies in Asia and the rest of the world. But it wasn't until 2013 that a number of economic projects began to flourish. Roads, railways, and ports are among those projects that make up China's early investments in the country. The economic corridor would start in Pakistan's mountainous north. It would then continue all the way to the town of Gwadar in the south, creating a route that would splice.
This is the route, which one? Route 2 or Route 3? Pakistan? Route 3. Okay. So you have a clear map in your mind.
Through the country. It's a massive infrastructure network unlike
Talk about the
anything
rainfall.